Good morning, happy Saturday. Welcome to Stamp and Create with Beth. I'm Beth Roy, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a few minutes to send out the notification so a few people can pop in. And real quick, I just want to remind you that you can now subscribe to the September Paper Pumpkin. It's called Fall for Twall, and this is in the US and Canada. And it will coordinate with a new suite that is releasing in September. So if you have questions about Paper Pumpkin, feel free to message me. I'm just going to adjust my camera a bit here. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Joan. Good morning, Linda. So today I'm going to do just some simple stamping. And simple stamping is just using inks, stamps, and paper. So you can have a really layered card. You can have a very simple card with just one layer. It's really up to you. And you can also add in designer series paper, which that is just a patterned paper that Stampin' Up! Sells. Good morning, Maggie. So I thought we'd go back to just some basics today and talk about the inks and some options that you have, and just using the stamps without dies and all the other things. Good morning, Deb. So for the cards that you see on screen, I used this pretty floral stamp set. This is part of a suite, and I don't remember if it's in the catalog or online. Stampin' Up! Has online products that are called online exclusives, and then they also have products that are in catalogs. So sometimes I don't remember which is which, but this does have dies. So if you are, an advanced stamper, or you are a card maker and you like to step it up and have layers, you can bundle this and get it at a discount, or you can just buy the stamp set. So there are dies that work with all of these pieces, and this is a two-step stamp, which means it has kind of an outline and a filler piece. And then in the dies, there's also some standalone pieces that you can use to build florals with cardstock, the two-toned or the dyed. You can also use designer series paper on these, or use a white and blend colors on. So lots of options, okay? But today we are going to keep it simple. Good morning, Dad. Good morning, Christy. So, let me see. We're going to go ahead and jump in. And the first thing that we are going to choose is which colors we want to use. So, this card, I made it a landscape, and I tried to use some summery colors. And I'm going to switch out a color as well. So I made some of the cone flowers with the Highland Heather, and then I'm not sure what kind of flower this is supposed to be, but I did Pretty in Pink and Lost Lagoon. Now I used Lost Lagoon on the middles here, but they didn't show up as well as I wanted, so I brought in Early Espresso. And then over here on this card, I used one of my favorite combos, and I'm going to pull out my ink pad just so that you can see it, but we're going to ink it with the spot. So this is what I used over here. Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, and Strawberry Slush. So these are in colors right now that are on sale. Okay, these are 15% off if you want to get anything that has the in colors. There is one exclusion, and that is the month by month album kit. It is not discounted. But if you want to grab these ink pads, now the Cloud Cover ink, I do have a spot that I've inked so that we have a better color, because the ink pad, the ink formula reacts with the foam, and so it's not as blue. Okay, so are you guys ready to get creating? We're going to keep it really simple today with one stamped layer and a base, and that's it, because it's okay to make one layer cards. And then I will be playing with this and making some different cards and giving you different ideas throughout the week. So are y'all ready? Everybody awake with their coffee? Okay, so let's vote. Which color scheme would you like to use this morning? Let's do one. Is this one with the pinks and purples and the Lost Lagoon. And so let me, 1 and 2 is the Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, and Strawberry Slush. So this is more of just the in colors. And while you may not see a Secret Sea leaves and stem, we're just taking some creative liberties here. Okay, so pop your votes in the comments. Joan, you're still in bed? I don't blame you. I wish I was. It is not 6 a.m. here, but I still wish I was just lounging. Oh, I see it. It almost looks unanimous. Anybody else want to throw their hat in the ring? Oh, I think everybody loves this color scheme. Okay, well, I'm going to pop this one to the side. And we're going to create. So this one has, I tried to use all of them. Actually, I did use all of them. So you have this little flower here that layers to make the cone flower, or you could make like a black-eyed Susan if you were using a yellow. Then we have this, so that is this outline and this filler. And then this one is this outline and this filler. And then we have this, and I don't know what these are called, but, and then you have a couple of the stems with some leaves. So I like this because you can create just really simple cards. Okay, sorry, I was catching up. So Deb, the question was which color scheme we wanted. This one had more votes, and I had a couple for this one. And you could bring Pretty in Pink into this one. I think it would look good with this, but I want to show you a technique. So these I kept very simple. I stamped full force with all the colors, but we're going to talk about stamping off. And I'm just making sure I have a scrap sheet here. And how we can stretch our colors. So if you were purchasing these colors and you wanted to stretch them, I'm going to show you some things you can do. So let's get started. I do have a layer here that I'm going to stamp. Now I like my card base to show more, so I use this layer, which is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And you can stamp it either portrait or landscape. So let's go to our next choice. And after we get done stamping, we will choose colors. So I do have some colors here that I'm going to pull in for our card base. So I picked 2 colors that I used here, and this one has a cloud cover base. And I also brought in white because I brought a little stamp set over from the month by month album kit. And I thought we could do a fun technique if we want to mount white upon white. So you can do, you know, tone on tone. I have some ideas, and we're going to have some fun with it. Okay, so the next choice we're going to make, we're not going to choose our card base yet. So my card base is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Or you can just fold it in half. But we'll choose that after we're done stamping and see which one we like best. So our next choice is, how do I want to stamp it? Do I want a portrait card, or I'm sorry, a landscape card or a portrait card? So A, landscape, B, portrait. And then we're going to get stamping. So I'm gonna let you guys vote there really quick. A for landscape, B for portrait. And while you're voting, I'm going to talk about some stamping things. So this is our Stamp and Pierce mat. I have several of these in my craft room for when I do classes. When you have these photopolymer stamp sets, so if you open this up, photopolymer are the truly clear stamps. They're made out of photopolymer material, and they don't have a cushion. So when you put them on your block, okay, they don't have a cushion like the red rubber. Let me see if I have any. I have no red rubber stamps near me. So just in case you're new, and here, I have one nearby that's brand new. It just came in my box, okay? So this is how our red rubber stamps come, and it has the rubber and then a cushion, okay? So this is a brand new set that's coming in September. I will give you guys more sneak peeks later. But that cushion helps get a nice image, okay? So when you ink this up and you stamp, sometimes this surface can be hard to kind of press down and get all that ink off. So that is what the Pearson mat's for. It helps you get a nice impression. Now, if you have the glass mat, you don't need it, okay? So I do recommend the glass mat. It is a great tool. I love it. And it kind of grows with you. So if you are learning to do techniques, this is great for blending. It's a great surface for blending. And it has a ruler. It has a grid on it. I have my grid paper here just so you can see better as I'm filming. Oh, everybody wants a landscape card. You guys are like almost unanimous on everything today. Okay, so we're going to do a landscape card. So we can get quite a few florals in here. And I did 4, but we can do whichever ones you want. So let me see, what do I want to stamp? I might just stamp, try to stamp one of everything. And we'll just have a mix. So let's do that. Okay, so what I did first was I stamped these. So my stems. And pull the plastic off here. Now, these do have die, so you'll notice these are connected, and when you die cut them, they die cut individually. So okay. So I used Secret C for my stems. And, oh, I better turn this the right way, huh? And we're just going to, stamp these on. So it's okay if things kind of hang off. It's okay if they overlap. Now, I will tell you, you'll notice this is going to stain, but originally, when I made my other cards, here's a little trick. If you don't like your stamps to get really pink, you can ink it with Versamark and then your dark color. And it really does help protect your stamp from staining because that Versamark doesn't allow it to really soak into your stamp or whatever. It doesn't stain it. It doesn't stay on it there. But I don't mind when these get a little pink. You'll see I used this with Strawberry Slush and I forgot. Reds stain quite a bit. That's just normal. And I forgot to ink it with Versamark first. So it does have a little pink to it and I'm okay with that. Okay, we're going to put one here. One here. And I think I'm gonna really let's see, do I want one there? My flower is gonna go here. Oh, why not? So there is all of our bottoms. Now, you can do this either way now. You can stamp this outline and then the filler, or you can stamp the filler and then the outline. It's really kind of your preference and how you like to line things up. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the filler first. And then I'm going to stamp the outline, okay? So I'm going to use Strawberry Slush for these. And then I'm going to use Cloud Cover on these. So I'm going to do one of each. I forgot. So let's pick this up. I'm going to stamp these really vibrant. You see, my stamp pad's very juicy, so you might notice that it looks a little bubbly. That's okay. If you don't like that, you can use a plastic spoon and kind of move some of that ink off. Now we're going to do these, and I'm going to show you the stamping off technique. So if you only have 1 or 2 inks, you can still get a variety on your card. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to stamp it, and then I'm going to stamp on here. So I've used 1 ink color, but I have 2 different looking colors on here. So this is called stamping off or generation stamping. So when you have first generation, it means you inked and you stamped. When you have second, it means you inked, you stamped off, and then you stamped your project. When you have third, and dark colors can get a really nice third generation, you ink, you stamp off, and then you stamp your project. So that is a great way to stretch your ink colors, especially if you like Strawberry Slush. And I want to show you something. So this is stamped off Strawberry Slush, but it's a very nice pink. So if you don't have pretty in pink, stamping off kind of gives you that color. Okay, they're not exact, but it's very close. So that is a great way to kind of just use what you have in your stash and extend it a little further. These are your favorite colors. I love these, and I have to tell you, you might see some Christmas with these colors. Okay, I'm not using this ink pad. I almost opened it. I'm going to use this little spot, and I don't mind this color, but it definitely is more gray than it is blue. So I like to have it just so you can see what I'm actually using, but we'll use the spot. So I'm going to use this flower, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to stamp off on this one. So stamp off, and I'm going to put this one over here. It's very light, but that's okay. So I kind of have my full forest flowers in the middle. And then I'm going to do this one. And this is really juicy because I just re-inked it. So let me see. It's kind of watery. You pull some of the ink off. All I did was stamp on my paper because I don't want my flower to look like that. I guess I re-inked it too much. We'll just go with it. It'll be okay. I'm going to do something just so you guys can see it. I don't know. Demonstrators were able to buy this, but there's some things in the last chance, so I don't know if this is now open to everyone or not. Oh, that's really... So that's the kind of the difference. Wow, that's really juicy. So this is what I mean by you can move the ink. You don't have to pull it off of your pad. Now on something small like that, I don't have anywhere to push that ink. But when you have a big pad, you can move that ink out to the edge so that it's still usable. And then as you use the middle of your pad, you can push that ink back into the middle. And all I do is I keep these by my desk. I have plastic spoons and unscented, sensitive baby wipes, and it just cleans right up. So I'm going to stamp one in this just so you can see it. And it is a little juicy, but that's okay. So you can see it's just a little grayer than, and it's supposed to be more blue. So sorry, I keep bumping everything. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my Secret C, and I'm going to stamp those outlines. So I'm just going to start here and go this way. And what I'm going to do with this one, let me show you the Versamark technique, because I'll just show you so you can see it. So I'm just inking this up, and then I'm going right into this ink pad, and I'm actually going to stamp off and then stamp this, and I might need to stand up so I can line it up, because remember I made this very light. Close enough. So when you have a light color and you stamp off, sometimes it's hard to see. So you might want to do this one where you do the outline and then line it up. But that's okay. And I'm going to do all of my outlines stamped off. So I'm going to ink and stamp off, and then this goes these. So it's just very subtle. And I'm not going to stamp off on those. So I'll do that last. So how many of you have this stamp set? I really like it because it's very nice for simple stamping. You can, ooh, I think I got off a little bit on that one. That's okay. I think it still works. You can, you know, use the dies and step it up, but it's, it has lots of different flowers. So I left that one full force because I think the stamped off wouldn't show up enough. I am going to clean it before I put it back in my Versamark. So there's our flowers. And see, this isn't stained. You can really tell when you flip it over. So if you don't like staining, use the Versamark technique. Or if you're like me and you're not, I don't really mind it because it helps me line things up. Okay, so now we are on to our next choice. Okay, so on these two cards, I used Just a Note. So this stamp set does not have any greetings. So you're going to pull in whatever greetings you like. So I pulled in Beautiful Motifs. That's where the Just a Note came from. I love this, all the greetings in this. I also brought in Simply Said. Again, another just all greetings. And I love all of these. I like the fonts. And then I brought in these. And these are the stamps you get with the month-by-month album kit. And there's quite a few in here. They're much larger than they're shown on the front. But it has this technique, or I'm sorry, not technique, texture stamp that's just lines. I don't know if you can see it very well. But I thought when we choose our card base, if you wanted this to have, if you wanted it to be on white, maybe you don't have a lot of cardstock colors and you wanted this to be on white, if you have some kind of texture stamp, okay, so it doesn't have to be that one, but any one, we have lots of different ones and different stamp sets, you could stamp a texture along the top and bottom or all the way around the edge and help separate that from the white cardstock. Okay, so we are going to choose what greeting we want to go on our card. And you notice I have a little bit of space down here. So I could use like a happy birthday, let's celebrate, thank you. Maybe you need some thank you cards right now. Hello, just a note. There is a thinking of you. If you have something that's more stacked, you could put it up here in this open space. So now we've got to decide what kind of card are we making. Yes, you could also stamp, if you're using this, you could stamp on the edge of your card base. Thank you for that suggestion, Vicki. Good morning. I don't know if I saw you pop in. So let's see, what kind of card do we want? Do we want to thank you? A hello. You know I like to do hello and just a note. Simply because those cards can become anything on the inside. So I do have Oops, I forgot. I do have an inside piece. I was going to stamp it with a couple flowers. Why don't I stamp that while you guys pop in what kind of cards you want. So I'm just leaving it open. There's no choices. Just write the greeting that you would like for me to use. And we'll see how many of you, whatever has the most votes, that's what we'll do. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside layer. So I have another basic white layer that's exactly the same size as the front. So it's 5 inches by 3 3/4. And make sure you stamp your card in the same, or for the inside, the same orientation as the front. So if you're doing landscape, make sure you turn it landscape. And I don't know what color base we're using. Maybe I should wait to stamp it till we decide that, because you might change what color flower you want based on the card base. Thank you, or birthday, thank you, thinking of you. Now, this stamp set doesn't have any ground stamps. So if you feel like you don't like that your flowers look like they're floating, if you've bought a stamp set like this that has some kind of texture, you could stamp that along the bottom. It doesn't bother me. Cards often have things floating. We're not going for realism. All right, we kind of have a tie going. Anyone else watching want to throw their vote in for a greeting? So if you're watching live, I should say, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to also comment, excuse me, what kind of card you would like to make, or you would make. All right, we're kind of tied up here. Excuse me. I'm going to use this Simply Said, and we'll decide from there. My goodness, I am so sorry. So I have a thank you. And then this one is thinking of you stacked. Oh, I think thinking of you just went out. So you can see that depending on how you plan it, because you could stamp it down here. You could stamp it up here, either way. Oh, I literally just lost my stamp behind my desk. Everyone pray that I find it when this video is over. Okay, so I'm going to do thinking of you, and I'm just going to do it up there in that top left where I have some open space. And my other cards, I stamped, I don't even know where my cards went. My word. Let's see, oh, there they are. Okay, this one I stamped at the bottom, and I used the base color, which was Lost Lagoon. And this one I did the same thing. I stamped it and I matched the card base. So let's go ahead and choose this, and then I will stamp the inside. Sometimes I know exactly what I want, but we are working through this together, so I want to make sure that we just kind of work through what choices you might have if you're new to this and you don't know what you like. Vicky, I'm not bothered. If you look at lots of photo or cards, even printed cards that you buy in the store, not everything is grounded and in a scene. So it does not bother me that they're just kind of there, okay? You could do them cascading down your layer, and I think it's just an artistic expression. So I guess it just is all dependent upon you and how you feel about your card. Okay, so let's choose our card base, because then we're going to choose our ink color. And guess what? It doesn't have to match. It can be whatever you want it to be. But when I go to stamp the inside, I was going to stamp this flower right here, which was Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. And if you're using Secret or Cloud Cover, you might decide that you want a pink flower. So that's why I decided to wait, because I did not bring Strawberry Slush in. It is really bright. And if you love bright card bases, that's the choice for you. Let me grab a piece just so you can see it. But I thought I liked these choices better because, I'm going to put my stamp over here before I lose it. I liked these colors to help my pinks pop. So I unconsciously, I didn't give you this choice. I like when my brighter colors pop. And so I choose some of the other muted colors or the darker colors so that, yes, these colors are the same, but it helps these stand out. So we're going to choose our card base, and I will bring the Strawberry Slush over while you're voting, just so you can see what I mean. So I wanted this to be my focal color, so I didn't use it for the base. So we're going to choose 1 Secret Sea, 2 Cloud Cover, or 3 Basic White. So start voting and I'll grab that cardstock. So here's some of that Strawberry Slush cardstock. And this is what I mean. So when this is a perfect choice, okay? This choice isn't wrong. But I feel like when I use a really bright base and my flowers are, my focal point is really bright, it kind of competes. That's my thoughts on it. So you can use this. Absolutely, this is a choice. There's no wrong choice. You could use another neutral. You could use a gray. You could even use crumb cake. Those choices are all fine if that's what you have in your stash. But I just felt like this competed with my flowers that I want to be front and center. So that's why I chose the more muted tones or the white. Ooh, everybody wants Secret Sea. You know, honestly, that would be kind of my choice too. I do like that one. Okay, so I'm going to move those other choices out of the way. So here is our card. Okay. I've already pre-scored it. I like to score my cardstock, so I score an entire piece of 8.5 by 11. I turn it on the 8.5 side, and I score at 4 1/4, and then I turn and I cut it at 5 1/2. Okay, so then I have 2 card bases ready to go. So here is our layer. Okay, I love that. Now, our greeting, I have all the colors here. Our greeting can be in any color you want. So if you want it to go kind of be that focal point with your flowers that are the brighter Strawberry Slush, you could choose that. You can do Cloud Cover, and it just kind of melts in the back, but it's there. You can see it. Or you could choose Secret Sea and match it to the base. So let's we have some choices to make here. My original thoughts on this was I was going to use the cloud cover and Secret Sea, but we could also do this flower in strawberry slush and we could stamp off so it's just subtle and on the inside. So let's do that. I'm going to just stamp while we're deciding what color we want our greeting. So we've chose Thinking of You. It's going to go up here in the left-hand corner, and we're going to stamp it. So do we want it to match the card base? That's Secret Sea. So let's say A for Secret Sea. Or we can go really subtle and do the cloud cover. So B is cloud cover. Or we can make it pop and match it with the strawberry slush, which is C. So A, Secret Sea. B, cloud cover. C, strawberry slush. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside of my card here. And I'm just going to put it down here. You notice I stamped off a little bit. I'm just going to put it down here in the corner. So you can do it however you like. If you want a whole bunch along the bottom, feel free to do that. You could leave the stems off and just do the tops of the flowers along the bottom. That would be fine too. And I'm going to stamp off with that strawberry slush. So I'm going to stamp off and then stamp here. Now, if you don't want the outline, you don't have to use it. You can use these without the outlines as well. Or at least on this one. I think the other ones might not, you might not like them as much, but I do think it works. Oh, sorry. I keep hitting my camera, so I apologize for all the shakiness. Okay. I'm just trying to look at your votes really quick. I think Strawberry Slush has won out just barely. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to stamp off. You notice I didn't do my Versamark this time. That's okay. I'm just trying to line this up. We're going to get it as close as we can. It's okay. Has that watercolor effect, right? Where it doesn't have to match exact. Okay, so now our inside's done. And it looks like Strawberry Slush won out. So you guys voted for the bright pop of color. So this is going to go on the inside. Pull this down. I'm going to pick up my Thinking of You. Now, I don't mind when things aren't exactly straight on my block because I can see through this. So I like to just stamp it. But if you are worried about that, here's a little trick. So you can line this up on your grid paper. And then you line the top of your block up with another line. And then it's straight on your block. I've been stamping for a while, so I am comfortable with just going in and doing it. And not really lining things up. So I do like to put my piece straight. And I'm going to do my best to get it straight on here. There we go. Not too bad. And now all we have to do is adhere everything down. All of our stamping's done. Now I will tell you, if you use these dark inks, so if this had been stamped in Secret Sea, even this, you want to give it a second to soak into your cardstock. Really dark inks like this will stay wet just a little bit longer. It takes them just a little while. So I like to not touch it right away. And then I do like liquid glue. You can use whatever adhesive you like. And you just need a little bit. You don't need a ton. So this is going to go on the inside. So we brought a little pink on that inside there. And if you wanted this to be more subtle, I didn't show you the Secret C, or no, I did show you Secret C stamped off. It looks a little darker than the cloud cover, but you could have used cloud cover in here. So feel free to change it up however you like. And I'm just going to adhere this with my liquid glue. But if you like to step up your cards, you can buy a pack of dimensionals. We have regular dimensionals and then we have minis. So the minis are just exactly how it sounds. They're these little tiny things. I like to use them on die cuts. And our packs come with 3 sheets, so you get quite a few. So if you want to step this up, you can just put dimensionals on here and pop it up a little bit. But you don't have to do that. So if you're just starting out and you just have a few things and you only have one type of adhesive, that's okay. You can use this, or you can use the Stampin' Seal. The Seal Plus is very permanent and it doesn't give any wiggle room. So I don't usually recommend that for beginners and for cards. So if you're making boxes and things like that, that is a great adhesive. And we do have tear and tape, but again, it's very permanent. So if you stick this down and it isn't exactly straight, you cannot pull it back up without ripping up your cardstock. So I like the liquid glue. It gives you a little time to move it around before it dries all the way. Okay, there we go. There's our card. What do you guys think? I love this set. So raise your hand in the comments if you've purchased this set. And if you've used it, please feel free to share your ideas over in the Stamp and Create with Beth group or on my page. So there is that. And you can see these came out very different. They look different even with using a different color. And you could make a set of cards to keep in your stash or give as a gift. So again, let me go over our color scheme. Oh, make sure you close your ink pads all the way. There we go. So this one was Secret C, Cloud Cover, and Strawberry Slush. And we just stretched our inks by using the Generation Stamping and Stamping Off. So if you need any of these products, feel free to support my business, my channel, and that helps me bring you these videos to inspire you on how to use the products. You can go see my online store at bethroy.stampinup.net, and I appreciate all the support. Thank you all. Love the love. Ooh, Deb, you got this one on Prize Patrol. Oh, I missed that event. I wasn't able to go, and I hated it because it was really close for me. But life happens sometimes. So yeah, I think this is a really cute set. Again, if you're an advanced card maker, the bundle, don't miss out on the dies. The bundle, you can buy the set for 10% when you buy it as a bundle, or 10% off, sorry. Thank you all. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching the replay. I will see you guys soon. Take care.